What up, what up, what up? This is gonna be my first update about the NaZiyah Harris case. It's about a 13-year-old black young female out of Detroit, Michigan that was kidnapped and never found again. He's gonna tell you some little stuff about it, and I'm gonna talk to you about it a little bit too. But I'm gonna show y'all the video. Here you go.
Picture behind me is of Zaniyah, and that will always be haunting because it was taken just a short time before the evidence shows that she was never seen or heard from again. It was taken by NaZiyah herself, selfie. That's the last known picture that we know about of her. It was pointed out to me by one of the detectives on this case and by one of the prosecutors. She is smiling and waving and saying hello. But little did she know that she was really saying goodbye.
This story is so incredibly tragic. NaZiyah Harris, little 13-year-old girl, should be enjoying those teenage years, should be having fun, laughing with her friends, going to school, learning, doing all of those things, but she's not. And she's missing, but presumed to be dead and murdered. I want you to take a listen to Kim Worthy. That was the prosecutor from Wayne County.
How do you know she did if you ain't found nobody yet?
She is
People just be talking.
evidence against the man that they have accused of the murder. There's a connection between this man and NaZiyah's family.
Nobody though.
The facts here are disturbing, to say the least.
My
fault. The evidence shows overwhelmingly in this case that she is in fact deceased. The last time she was seen alive was January the 9th of this year, 2024, almost 9 months ago. Her missing status was reported to the Detroit Public School Police Department by her grandmother on that very day when she never returned home from school. And again, that was January the 9th of 2024. In early February of 2024, the case was turned over to the Detroit Police Department. Frankly, that should have happened right away. But they began investigating immediately.
They took a little bit of time. They lied.
Through text messages that we know and that we have, Zaniyah and this defendant were going to meet after school on January the 9th. We know that she did indeed meet up with the defendant that we're charging in this case. We also know that several people close to Mr. Butts, who we were charging later, saw them together in several situations, people that he knew well.
You know he raped her and stuff, but I still don't think he killed her.
9:30 p.m. on that day, that Mr. Butts checked into a motel and that Zaniyah was never seen or heard from again. Not from her family.
I think the auntie killed her. It was too scary.
Not from social media, where she was extremely active with her friends. Not from teachers. No one. We know that she had no medical conditions that would cause a life-threatening medical emergency to her. And he, again, was the last person that saw her alive. She would have turned 14 years old just 10 days ago on September the 16th of 2024. And again, no one has seen or heard from her. You look at that face, and you do not see the horrors that she had gone through in her short life. The exploitation, the molestations, the sexual abuse, and the pregnancy that she was concealing.
Hold on.
The evidence will show that from...
I just want to know. Where her family at? Like, where is her family? Like, y'all heard everything she done been through. Like, come on now. Ain't her family nowhere to be found? Through all this shit, excuse my language, y'all, but through all this, her family nowhere to be found. So y'all just telling me all this happening in CPS, she going to school, all this, but ain't nobody knowing this. Come on, something just ain't going right. Something just ain't right. Talk to me, man. Say it ain't right.
One of her text messages to and with Jarvis Butts. And we also know, the evidence will show, that there's no evidence of anyone else being the father of that child, other than the defendant himself, who we charged today. And he knew she was pregnant. We know that he was also searching for
Then then he got that little girl pregnant, and her family knew that he was already a fucking a predator. He wasn't supposed to be around no children anyway. So what they got going on? Like it was a setup or something. Somebody said a church or something going on in Detroit. Somebody, we need some answers. Somebody got to tell us something.
Ways to abort the baby. We know that sexually explicit photos were requested by him of her and that she complied and sent them to her. All at the hands, we allege, the man we are charging with her death and also her long-term sexual abuse. Today, we are charging Jarvis Butts with 1 count of first-degree premeditated murder, 1 count of criminal sexual conduct in the second degree, and 1 count of child sexually abusive material. Today, we are also charging Mr. Butts with 4
Crazy.
counts of
I don't think a murder trial gonna stick though.
2 more girls, yes, girls, on 2 other separate cases. The girls in question now are 20.
See, they go in Detroit and just let a man do whatever he want in Detroit. Just let a man do whatever he want to do.
The offenses occurred that we're charging.
This shit gotta be
Based on all
stopped.
the evidence that I've laid out now, and much more that will be shown later in court. Based on all
Sex
the
trafficking
evidence we
has to be stopped.
in court, Mr. Butts targeted and befriended women who had to have sexual relationships with their young daughters. He would have relationships with their mothers, but his true desire was to have sex with their young daughters. That's what the evidence will show. He was a classic and expert groomer and pedophile.
Good, man.
Sounds so familiar. A lot of parallels with this
Crazy,
case
man.
and what happened to Madeline Soto down in Florida. And it's these predators. They know how to do it. They know how to get close to children.
Because they've been doing it their whole life.
Apparently,
Something is seriously wrong with it, man.
Joining us from Detroit, Michigan, NaZiyah Harris's cousin, Roxy.
This
Roxy,
ain't the
thank you
video.
so much for joining us.
Now let me switch it up.
Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is back.
Well, I just don't understand, like, for real, how all they gone and no parents nowhere to be found. It's sickening. It's very sickening. But thank y'all for watching. I got an update 2 coming up for y'all, so get on, get ready. All right.
And this season,
You got
Mm-hmm.